Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about why taking sets beyond failure or using a lot of these intensity methods probably is not going to do anything for muscle growth for a drug-free lifter. And I want to be clear here when I say that the presence of significant amounts of substances may change that. And there's a reason it may change it. And so that people understand with a little bit of nuance, there's two things at play. Number one, when your hormone levels are stable, meaning the amount of anabolic hormones in your body is relatively stable, either you don't take anything, or if you do take anything, you stay at a certain amount and you don't increase it year after year. So let's just call that the same. All right, what ends up happening the longer you train, the less your more intermediate muscle fibers are capable of growing. Okay, they max out. In fact, your slowest twitch fibers that you use to walk and all that stuff, they get as big as they're going to get just from walking. Okay, they don't get any bigger. Okay, that's it, they're done. Once you've learned to walk and you walk regularly. So on and so forth. And what happens as we get more advanced, only the higher threshold muscle fibers, when you get really advanced, still have the ability to grow. And the various intermediate fibers, the longer you train, they start maxing out in size because they don't have really an unlimited size potential. They will stop growing, and the further you go up that chain towards faster twitch, the more this becomes true over an extended period of time. Okay, so think of it in that way. Out of say the 20 types of different intermediate fibers you have, as you go up the row of them, only the fastest twitch ones can continue to grow. But other ones cut out at different punts. Maybe 6 months this one stops, a year this one, and we don't have exact figures, but we do know that's the general trend. Okay, so that being said, the longer you train at any given hormone profile, the more that becomes true. That's one of the reasons muscle growth slows down. It's not that the upper threshold fibers grow less. They keep growing almost indefinitely, it seems like. You know, years and years and years and years, if you can reach them and fatigue them and stimulate them. Okay, but those are your deeper fibers. They're a little harder to get to. All right, so hopefully everyone understands this. And then when people add stuff, and you guys know what stuff is, there's a whole variety of things. What happens? Those other muscle fibers get exposed to it, and then they can start growing again, and so on and so forth. So here's where we're going to go with the going beyond failure. As you are doing a set, let's just say a set of leg extensions for whatever, 20 reps. Let's say it's your 20 rep max. All right, the first probably 10 reps of that, you're not recruiting any upper threshold fibers. Okay. In fact, let's come over to, let's just say a curl. Just say a curl for 10 reps. Let's say it's your 10 rep max. A 10th rep is your last rep you can do, and you just fail on the 11th if you don't cheat, right? Everyone gets that. The first 3, 4, 5 reps are probably just warm-ups. They're just working various intermediate fibers. They're not getting to the highest threshold muscle fibers. As we do more work and we fatigue the other muscle fibers, what happens? Your body uses, through rate coding, I believe it's also called the HMAN Principle, what ends up happening, as necessary, the other muscle fibers turn on demand. They can turn on from hitting a really heavy weight close to a max immediately, or throwing or punching something as hard as you possibly can, sure, absolutely. Otherwise, when we're just lifting, they don't get hit till the other muscle fibers get fatigued. And so as each set of muscle fibers through that, say 20 different types you have, get fatigued, it goes further and further up the chain. Okay, so usually the last few reps, as we get close to muscle failure, we start hitting the deeper muscle fibers. Okay, assuming we're putting the muscles in positions to work the fibers for that, right? Lengthened positions tend to do the most, so on and so forth. All right, everyone follow this? So when you hit muscle failure, what has generally happened? You've accumulated enough metabolites and things happening with calcium and other stuff that those highest threshold muscle fibers are done. They just stop firing. They quit. They simply will not contract anymore until they've had time for the various metabolites to clear and everything. They're done. That's why you hit failure. Okay, the weight just stops moving. So, let's see where we're going with this. People are like, but if I drop the weight down, I can do more reps, so I'm hitting them again. No, you're not. They won't contract anymore. They're done. You're back to using the muscle fibers you used for the first 3 or 4 or 5 reps again. Those have had enough time to recover, right? They've had 10, 15 seconds. They can go again. So when people do all these post-failure things, what are they usually doing? They're either taking a rest, resting 3 or 4 seconds, trying to get another rep or 2, resting 3 or 4 seconds, getting another rep or 2. Is that hitting any of the upper threshold fibers? No. It's just hitting the same ones you did the first 5 reps with, because they've recovered enough to do that. What happens if you drop to a lighter weight? Let's say you're using a 30-pound dumbbell and you drop to a 20. You can squeeze out a couple more reps, right? Sure, because you're back to using those weaker muscle fibers again. They can still fire again. How about forced reps, where someone helps you lift the weight and you do more? The exact same thing. How about if you just do partials through the easier part of the range of motion? The same thing. You're back to hitting the same muscle fibers you used for the first few reps in the 10-rep set. That is what's happening in every one of these techniques. Okay, and everyone's like, but it's training hard. Yeah, it is, and I used to do all that. I used to do that stuff years ago too. Tons of it when I was younger. Just like all of you, because, you know, people said, hey, this is the way to go. But again, the issue comes over to you're just reworking muscle fibers that probably have very little growth potential. Unless you're a novice, and if you've been training 5+ years and you haven't added any stuff, or if you've been at the same amount of stuff for 3 or 4 years, you haven't increased it, you're probably not stimulating any growth with this. You're just beating your recovery up. Right? Where does your growth really happen at any given point? The last couple reps before failure, or to muscle failure. All right? Failing a rep doesn't produce extra growth, by the way. But sometimes we need to take stuff to failure to know that we got close. Okay, fair enough. That's a foolproof method. It's not always safe. But if you stop 1 rep short of failure and the last rep is really difficult and you know you would fail the next one, you hit all the available muscle fibers. The only way you're going to hit them again is to take a 3 or 4 minute break before you train again. That's it. Before you hit another set of those with those muscles. Outside of that, you're not going to be able to hit them again. And when you get so deep into a workout that you can't even move the weights anymore that you could work early on, you've probably fatigued those muscle fibers too much to work them any further. At that point, it's just chunk volume. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.